there are different speaker markets. And for those people that do want to look at getting your message out there, your product, your services out there, you need to understand that there are different markets in this speaker game. And I understand there are people here in this room that might be in the professional world, like and work in professional services. That still doesn't mean, though, that you can't get asked to speak at a conference. If you're a manager, if you're a leader, if you're a person that wants to make a difference in the world, the more that you are making a difference, even if you're working for someone, you will get asked to deliver a paper at a conference, or will get asked to speak at an event. Now, we believe that there are three main speaker markets. The first one there is corporate, and in the corporate market, these are like closed room events. You know, let me give you an example. BMW, every single year they run about 32 events. I know that because I do some work for them. So BMW run 32 events every year. 50% of those events, they require paid professional speakers to speak on that stage. Let me give you another example. Here in New South Wales alone, there are 192 conference venues just in New South Wales alone. Research will tell us that all these 192 conference venues, at a minimum, they run one event every day. So that's 7 events every day, every week. So right now, here in Australia, there is a minimum of 192 events that are happening right now here. Sorry, not in Australia, just in New South Wales alone. Research will also tell me that 50 to 60% of these events, these conferences, require paid professional speakers to speak on that stage. That's the corporate world. So this is a closed room event. It's not open to the public or anything like that. This is when Google put on a conference for all the Google employees, not open to the public, they get a paid professional speaker to speak on that stage. When BMW, same thing. It's not open to the public. So I've been a professional speaker now for about 8-9 years, specifically in the professional speaker space. Now, on average, what would you say would be on average for a 1-hour keynote presentation in the corporate space? What would you say would be on average? Now, I'm talking about not a best-selling author, not like an A-class celebrity, not like an entertainer or a sports hero or anything like that. It's just someone like you or me, someone that actually believes that they have a message and have a polished 1-hour keynote presentation. What would you say would be the average for a 1-hour keynote? For a nobody? For an average? Wow, I don't know where you go. So the average for a 1 hour is about $6,000. So that is a non-celebrity, that's a non-entertainer. There wouldn't be many speakers in Australia that would be getting paid $10K plus. Unless you're a Kathy Freeman or you're a Kieran Perkins or you're a Koshy. These guys here would be 10, 15 here in Australia. So for an average, for a 1-hour keynote is 6. Now get this, if you're charging under 4, the speaker bureaus won't even look at you. So what is a speaker bureau? A speaker bureau is like a broker between the client and the speaker. So the client, let's say Johnson & Johnson, pharmaceutical, they come up to the bureau and they say, look, we need 5 speakers, but we only have a budget of $40,000. So then the bureau then say, okay, then they'll go out and source the 5 speakers, then they'll come back, they'll give them the 5 and they'll say, there you go. Now that speaker, Johnson & Johnson is not their client. Their client is still the bureau, but you're representing the bureau in with Johnson & Johnson, if that makes sense. So speaker bureau. So there's about 7 major speaker bureaus here in this country right now. The largest speaker bureau is called ICMI. ICMI came to me about a year ago and they knocked on our door and they said, Sam, we have an issue. And I said, what's your issue? And they said, right now their clients are crying out for the new talent that's in the speaker market. And at the same time, we have so many people out there that say that they're speakers that are knocking down on the door saying, represent me, but they're actually really not that good. Sam, can you train all the speakers? Now we won't put anyone at all onto our books until such time as you train them. So what we're now doing, we are the official trainers for a lot of their speaker bureaus. TEDx, exactly the same. So my encouragement to you is if you have a message that you believe the world needs to hear, if you need training in a lot of these areas, you've got to get a coach or a mentor and someone that's obviously got proven records out there in the marketplace. And that's what we do here at the Speakers Institute. So that's the corporate market. Next one there is the education. So we do have a couple of education people here in the room, and what education is specifically looking at the people that are just working in schools or either universities. These people are obviously, you know, either parents or teachers or students or so on and so forth. My encouragement to people here in this room that are just after education is that look for ways that will spark the interest of the person that writes the checks. And this is exactly the same in the corporate world as well. For those people that think that education don't pay, you've got another thing coming. I will not speak at a school for under $4,000 or $5,000. And this is a public primary school, rural, that are still going to pay me $4,000 to $5,000 for me to go out and speak at that school. But the difference is I've been on the phone and I've sort of said, hey, what's your pain point in the school? What are your problems? What are your issues? How can I serve? How can I contribute? So instead of me saying, I've got a great goal-setting workshop, there's no money in goal setting. You could say, I have a great career and transition workshop, there's money in that. I've got a great program here on women empowerment, there's no money at all in that. I've got a great program here in... I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Now she's rubbing it in. So, you know, so there's no money at all in women empowerment, but there is money in diversity and inequality. There's no money in goal setting, but there's money in transition and career. There's no money at all in bullying, but there is money in mental health. So it's actually really sparking the interest of the person that writes the checks and knowing exactly where that dollar is, particularly in the schools. Yeah, I've actually turned it down. I've now put it on aeroplane mode, so it's fine. Thanks. So that's the education market. The last one there is public. So public is literally this here. So what a public event is, I mean, most of us have been in the public event, you know, in PowerNet, or you go to Tony Robbins, or T.R. Becker, or Dale Beaumont, Business Blueprint, or you might go to Jack Delosa, which is, they're a part of the Entourage, or Pat Mesiti, or whatever. And what these events are is that they give value, they give a lot of value, then they say, hey, look, join our programs, buy some product. However, unfortunately, in the public world, particularly over in there in the States, there's a lot of sharks in this space. And you know what I mean by sharks? Charisma doesn't always equal character. Charisma is, wow, you know, I can show you the world. I'll look you in the eye. I'll shake your hand. I'll promise you the world. But can they back that up with morals, with integrity, with core values, with ethics, with truth? So we want to make sure here at the Speakers Institute that part of our core values is integrity. Part of our core values is making sure that people are true experts, and we're not just saying, hey guys, if you join our program, you're going to make $1 million in a month, and you're not going to do that. So if you think you're going to do that, we're the wrong program. So I want to encourage you as well, particularly in all these three areas, what particular market do you want to go after? Is it the corporate? Is it the education? Or is it the public? Focus on one, do it really well. Let me say that again, focus on one, do it really well.